Thank you. I know you guys are wrapping up the experience here, and so I will try to keep this two things: short and sweet. Well, probably a third, and actionable. So I built, for 10-second backstory, I built Lincoln Learn, a LinkedIn lead generation agency on kind of demand generation principles with organic LinkedIn that then turned into amplified by paid, and then kind of turned into an acquisition where my agency was acquired and turned into a full service LinkedIn agency and then more. So I kind of have a different spin on selling through LinkedIn, combining paid and organic. And I kind of want to walk through orchestrating B2B buyer journeys, and using kind of this multi-channel marketing ecosystem to do so. So kind of a quick overview of what I'm going to get into, and it's going to be twofold. So I'm going to walk through kind of the building blocks of building and scaling a like marketing motion. So some actionable, hey, grab this channel, do this on here. And then throughout those, what signals are we looking for from these channels? And also, I think just as important, what signals are our buyers looking for from us? So kind of maybe a different take than some of these other sessions, but coming from my personal experience in scaling a marketing agency and looking at how it's worked for us and clients. So I'm going to walk through LinkedIn organic content. That was my favorite place to start. If I had to start over from scratch, I would do that again. I then believe amplifying with LinkedIn ads makes sense. Looking at those digital signals, what industries you're having more traction with, looking at kind of the buyer intent and trust signals from there. I really believe in paid search as far as in-market signals, people telling you that they're actually in the hunt for what you do. I'm a big fan of retargeting, a retargeting matrix, looking at those signals that kind of verify that they are interested, they're consuming content even after they've left your website, and things that let you know you're probably building trust with that group. I'm a huge fan of omni-channel remarketing and kind of creating that everywhere effect. And I think for our buyers, that creates this kind of trust signal for them as well. And then website visitor identification, and also nearbound, kind of as you create these, how do you know that we're moving down the right path? How can I tie it all the way back to organic and see the traction that's coming there and leverage that for more personalized buyer journeys, a LinkedIn connection request and a personalized message, an email that kind of hits the right person at the right time with the right triggers in their journey. So we'll go through here. I started my journey with LinkedIn organic. So if I show my profile here, I've now accumulated over the last 5 or 6 years about 80,000 followers. And I have accumulated through this kind of the signals of just what is resonating with my audience, what are the topics, the pain points. And I love organic as a starting point because it's kind of one of those areas where you can get a lot of high motion out there with low friction. It's way easier to get a lot of content out there without having to go through a lot of approval process with if you're at a bigger org. You can get a lot of things out there, and then you can start testing the signals, and you can kind of see what's really resonating. And 80% of B2B leads from social media come from LinkedIn. And this is kind of a quote from HubSpot. But I really believe starting with organic is kind of a really lightweight way to test the waters, get initial signals. And the things I'm looking for is, especially on a new platform, what demographics are more active and resonating with my content, which content is resonating with them more. So what topics, what trends, what things, and I'm taking those learnings and kind of then amplifying it with paid ads. I'm a big fan of using a mix of video content, image and text, trying a lot of things. And again, letting the prospects and the buyers and my network kind of give me those signals of what's working, what's not working, and what they want to see more of. Then the next phase is I like to take what is working organically, and then I really want to amplify that and kind of scale it. So one of the big drawbacks about organic is that you post something in the feed, it gets buried in the feed, and before you know it, even if it was a top performer, you're trying to revamp it, refurbish it the next month and publish it, and it's kind of a relentless cycle. You also have to send targeted connection requests, if you want to grow your network intentionally. You also, the real secret that people don't tell you about growing a organic channel or an organic following is that it's actually way less about what you post, although that is very valuable. You actually have to put a lot of work in to engage with the people around you to grow an organic, engaged following. So if you can have that organic motion, you can get some traction, and you start to see what works. Starting usually around that time, you're actually getting revenue. You're building up a decent motion. You're building a pipeline, and then you start to move into this time where you have more. You had more time than budget, but hopefully, ideally, you start to get to this phase where you have budget and you need to buy some of your time back. Amplifying what's working with paid ads is a great way to kind of pivot and scale what's already working and not start from scratch. So a lot of times, I really like to pair LinkedIn organic content with the LinkedIn paid thought leaders ads. And one stat that I found, of course, this is published by LinkedIn, is that LinkedIn ads reach about 14.6% of the world's population, with 63 million decision makers using the platform. So the one thing that's different on LinkedIn than any other platform is that people actually, B2B buyers, actually log into this platform specifically to be influenced on buying decisions. They're not logging in usually to be entertained. They're not logging in to kill time. They're logging in to be influenced on buying decisions, whether they realize it or not. A lot of them are. They want to see what their peers are doing. They want to see what strategies are new. They want to see what channels are being leveraged, what tactics are new, what software other people are recommending. So they are logging in, wanting to learn, and open to being influenced on different purchasing decisions. So it's a great platform to build awareness for yourself, to build a personal brand, and then to cross over and amplify that with paid ads. And as you're doing that, and this is kind of what the thought leader ads look like if you haven't seen them. They look like they're coming from a personal profile. The only difference is it'll say promoted in partnership with or promoted by your company. So these actually took out that name, but they would say with promoted by Impactable. But they look like organic posts in their feed that are being shown to them. And the best part in my mind is they have this baked in social proof because I'm amplifying my top thought leader ad, or my top organic post with thought leader ads. So I'm not starting from scratch. I'm turning some of my best organic hits into evergreen kind of paid ads with hyper targeting through LinkedIn's very amazing targeting system, which is usually what people come to it for LinkedIn's targeting. This is what the video thought leader ads look like. So again, just promoted by Impactable, has your tagline. Otherwise, they wouldn't know that it's a thought leader ad. And so I really like to take the organic signals, amplify it by paid ads. I'll show you in a minute what signals I'm looking at from there. But the next thing that I kind of want to show you is the in-market paid search. So again, in part of this buyer journey, the other thing I want to add in at this phase, because I'm kind of talking about top of the funnel, cold initial awareness, building presence. So organic, going deep on one organic channel, I choose LinkedIn. Amplifying with paid ads for another kind of cold layer, amplifying what's working, I choose LinkedIn. Cold ads, specifically thought leader. And then I like to supplement that with paid search traffic because two things. Even as much as I love LinkedIn ads as a LinkedIn ads agency owner, I admit that those are people that there aren't signals initially that they're in market, that they're actively looking for a solution, that they have significant pain that needs to be solved. So paid search, supplementing that traffic or adding to your existing ecosystem, I think is pretty vital for most orgs because there are people out there searching for exactly what you do, exactly what you offer, researching the pain points that you solve. And so getting that traffic and stepping in front of that traffic is a pretty amazing way to kind of also enrich your ecosystem in marketing. And that has a shorter sales cycle as well. So think about LinkedIn cold ads. You're getting in front of super targeted people, but there's no indicator they're in market. So the sales cycle could be 6, 12, 18 months in some cases. Now compare that with someone who's literally searching for a LinkedIn ads agency for SaaS. That person probably has a lot shorter sales cycle because they're problem aware, they're solution aware, they're looking for exactly what you offer. The main problem with paid search is that it's very competitive traffic. You're kind of fighting with 4 or 5 other competitors because they're going to visit your page and they're going to shop around to the other 3 or 4 competitors. So it's what happens over the next 3 or 4 or 6 months that really matters. Otherwise, if all you do is run paid search and you don't have a healthy retargeting strategy, then you're just at the mercy of that very expensive click and the quality of your landing page or website to convert that traffic and your position over your competitors, which can be very pricey and very competitive. But at this point, I'm not looking to necessarily immediately convert this traffic on first click. I'm looking to add high quality in market traffic. Those are the signals I'm looking for to bring them into my ecosystem. The next thing I do, and what I'm kind of leveraging LinkedIn retargeting for, and some of these signals that I'm looking for, is what is the demographic makeup of this traffic that I've now generated? I'm generating traffic from LinkedIn organic. I'm generating traffic from LinkedIn ads cold, based on some of those demographics and my ICP filters. And now I'm bringing in market paid search traffic into my ecosystem, into my website. The beautiful thing about LinkedIn ads is that it can actually, its pixel can see all of your website traffic. So not just what LinkedIn builds that it puts in there, but everything, which is why I really believe LinkedIn ads is a great middle of the funnel hero, because it can see all of that traffic and then it can actually filter out and qualify that traffic. So no other platform can do this, where I can say, okay, all of my website traffic, whether it's from organic, SEO, blog, Facebook, or Google, I now want to filter it down to company size 50 to 200, seniority, director level and above, job functions, executives, and marketing leaders. And I want to just distill it down to that and start getting back in front of them. And obviously, we all know the power of remarketing and retargeting. It can increase conversion rates by up to 150%, which to me is pretty powerful. So one of the things that I've really latched on is this idea of retargeting, and I've built out a really nice kind of 6-month framework of how I map out a lot of LinkedIn accounts, but we'll skip over that. Now we can get to the good part here. Now that we have all of this in motion, now that's the force that's kind of putting the right ingredients into our marketing ecosystem. So from here, we kind of want to look at what signals we are seeing from this. And one of the things I love is on LinkedIn native, you can start to see the signals of where you're getting more traction, what industries, what company sizes, what seniorities, what job functions. You can start to read little indicators and signals inside of native campaign manager to kind of show you where you're getting most traction, where you might be wasting your money. There are better ways and better tools to see that. Shout out to Fibbler, which is a great low cost software that does one function very well. It shows you the influence of LinkedIn ads on like current pipeline. So it kind of shows you like those signals, if that's actually having an impact. One of the things I like, Demand Sense, will show you the actual accounts that have exposure to your LinkedIn ads. And it will let you kind of also sort by industry, company size, job titles. And you can start to see the signals and distill that by campaign. I can run a retargeting campaign, and then I can look specifically at the accounts that are most engaged with my ads. So that is a great kind of signal to say, okay, because less than 3 or 6% of most website visitors are converting and booking a call or sharing their contact info. So there's a lot of other things that I want to do before I get to that point, or if they're not getting to that point, to try to tee up these leads for my sales team to jump in, or for me to see if my targeting is working. Being able to see the exact accounts and companies that are engaging with my ads, how engaged they are, and having that control, that's a pretty amazing signal. And then being able to see what industries, what company sizes, and what job functions and seniorities I'm getting more traction with on that specific platform, that opens up a whole nother realm of possibility of segmented retargeting. I can say if they visited my website and they're an IT service company, a 50 to 200 in size, I want to create a specific campaign for them. I want to create unique graphics and design and copy that speaks directly to their specific pain points. And then you don't have to just have retargeting in general. you can segment out and you can see where you're getting the most traction, and you can start improving the ROI of your overall motion by drilling down and segmenting meticulously through there. The next one I have is this is kind of the signals I want to send to the prospect. I absolutely love the idea of building multi-channel presence, and it's most cost effective to do it in retargeting. So if you have an ABM list, you might build this out all in the initial layer. You want to saturate a very tight group of people across multiple platforms and create this everywhere effect. For a lot of others, SMBs, if you have a decent sized TAM, you want to kind of drill down in your cold initial touch campaigns to your very specific, most profitable segment. But then in retargeting, if they make it to your website and or engage with different things, you kind of want to be everywhere for them, over the next 3 months. So I really like to retarget on programmatic and do CTV and native and video. I like to do meta retargeting, LinkedIn retargeting, of course. And then I like to also add in an additional touch of website visitor identification, which is another great signal, because again, if less than 6% of people that are making it to your website are actually converting and booking a call with you or filling out a form, you want to make the most of the data you have, the signals you have. And so website visitor identification is one of those things that absolutely should be part of your arsenal, especially if you have US based heavy traffic. And you want to use that to do a couple of things. The first thing is to understand the quality of traffic you're attracting and segment that by source. So if I can get a better understanding of the traffic that's hitting my website from the different sources, I can understand the quality of that traffic, maybe make tweaks in targeting. I can also better understand the most interested prospects that are maybe on the verge of converting that just need a little nudge. So if I see that they visited my website 6 different times, they're perfect ICP fit, they visited the pricing page twice, it could be something as simple as a little enrichment flow, find their email and give them a little nudge, give them some extra information or that extra discount. Ecom is amazing at this. Or one of my personal favorites is a little flow. You identify them, connect with them on LinkedIn, send them a personal message back to your organic flow. Now that they're connected, they're starting to see your organic content amplified by thought leader ads, and you're kind of entrenching them and building trust all the way around. So website visitor identification is a great part of that. The other one that I don't think people really know about or talk about is this idea of I starting to hear it take off, and I know people are getting annoyed with like these different terms but near bound. I do actually like that term. And so if you're not familiar with that, instead of outbound where you're going out to cold audiences, near bound says if there's audiences that are in my ecosystem that I can kind of capture and reach out to, I'll have a better impact with them. So Sales Navigator has come a long way. It's an amazing tool. It was one of the primary things I used in my initial business. I kind of got away from it. And now that I've revisited it in the last year, check this out. You can put all of your ICP criteria. So mine is usually I would go after this 50 to 200. I'd probably dial this down to maybe this here. 50 to 200 is my sweet spot. We do serve some of these bigger ones. I can say they also recently viewed my profile and they're not connected to me. So their second or third connection, they're in one of these job functions, these seniorities. I can exclude all these titles. So I can take what would be organic. I can take my profile viewers, which if you're just doing it manually, you're looking through it like this and trying to figure out, is there any leads in here? Is there anything I can do with that? That's a very manual process. It's worth doing if you don't have the tools or the budget. But Sales Navigator makes this really easy. Do I have ICP fit prospects viewing my personal LinkedIn profile who are not connected to me? And then a very simple flow could be set up. I won't say automation because, if LinkedIn's watching this, they really don't like that. But you can definitely do some things that don't have to be manual, where you actually take this list, you refresh it, on a weekly basis, and you send a personal connection request to these people that are already warm prospects and that are already familiar with you because they viewed your profile. You send a connection request, and when they accept the connection request, you send a personal message, kind of curating their journey. So again, it might have started with organic posts, amplified by paid ads, They might have wandered onto your website, seen some retargeting ads, then they saw you again on LinkedIn, and now you're reaching out and connecting with them from your personal LinkedIn account and sending them a message. And the message I would usually send is something just value adding. So not a hard pitch, but hey, I saw you checking out my profile. I thought we should connect. And this is something that a lot of my network asks for, feels valuable. Here's a link with some of my best resources. That's usually what I share. And my best resources are my 6-month LinkedIn ads roadmap, my budget, my playbook by budget and for low budget strategies, and some of these other things that people like. So I give them those. Of course, those have links back to the website, to call booking, to other things, but they also just have a lot of free resources in there. So taking all of that previous kind of interactions in motion to get people to your website, distilling it down, getting back in front of the right people, being everywhere for those, and then using kind of these personalized journeys of using personal profiles to then bridge that final gap and say, hey, let's connect. Let me send you a message. And then the beautiful part for me is once they're connected for me, I'm back into that organic motion. So whether they're seeing my ads or not, if they're connected to me, chances are I'm going to dominate their feed. They're going to see from me. And even if they don't bite on that initial message, or they tool around, they see the resources, if they start seeing my content organically and paid, I'm going to have a lot of opportunities to edge out my competition and win their business over. 79% of B2B marketers say that LinkedIn is an effective source for lead generation. I'm sure this was even more true 3 years ago, before they had that huge restriction where you used to be able to send 100 connection requests a day, and now it's 100 a week. But now you have to be smarter. You have to send it instead of the mass play of volume. You want to go for quality. You want to go for nearbound people that are on your radar already. And with this flow, I get about 65% acceptance rate, which is really good because they already know me, they already checked me out, and then I invite them in. And it's just a great way to kind of close the loop and bring back organic. And so again, kind of wrapping this up and looking at the signals and tying this back, the organic signals. So when I'm doing the organic link, the organic motion, I'm looking for follower activity. I'm looking for engagement. I'm looking for what they show interest in, topics, trends, or resources that they gravitate towards. Those are amazing signals that I can then use to curate in journeys with my outreach messages, with my emails, with my ads that I run. And then I take those signals and I amplify them with paid ads. And with my paid ads, I'm looking for signals like what demographics and industries and company sizes and job functions am I getting the most traction with on this platform. And I take those and I leverage that to segment into retargeting and have very specific curated retargeting audiences that play into my strongest bases, where I can curate a better journey for those specific segments, for my IT services, for my marketing agencies, for my software companies. And their journey isn't going to look like other people's journey. And then, yes, taking in the in-market signals of paid search, both from people searching for my actual solutions and then capturing the demand that I'm generating by people looking for branded terms. And then the other thing within retargeting is it's not just that they're engaging with retargeting ads and that shows you that they're still interested. My retargeting philosophy, like when I actually look at my retargeting strategy, the idea isn't just to segment these, but it's the assets that you put in front of them. I want to build trust with them. I want to show trust and credibility. I want to show guest posts on podcasts, speaking events, third-party validation. So it's actually also the consumption of these assets or the consumption of certain assets. Like I can see that someone viewed 75% of my video that sits in a 90-day retargeting, and then I can send a sponsored in-mail to people that could be a trigger. Those that view 75% of a video that sits in retargeting, it can trigger a paid in-mail with an additional touch and curated journey for that specific group or industry. And so I keep coming back to LinkedIn. It's very LinkedIn-centric strategy, but it's also because it allows you to really slice and dice this sometimes in ways that like other platforms don't. But taking all those signals, you can kind of see like curating the journey and segmenting it, and then bringing it all the way back to organic, where once again, I'm trying to take my paid channels, and if I can, use paid channels to funnel people into my organic kind of communities where I'm free to build trust, nurture them, and stay in front of them indefinitely without ad spend. So organic first, amplify with paid ads. I use paid ads to funnel them back to organic communities. And it's a very efficient kind of ecosystem approach to leveraging the signals, curating journeys, and also growing kind of this omni-channel approach that I don't think a lot of people have really tapped into. This good-looking guy, just kidding. That haven't really tapped into as much as they could or should. So that is pretty good timing. About 3 minutes left here. What I have some additional resources. I'm not sure if I get to share this slide deck or if you have access to that. So if not, you can definitely reach out to me, and I'm free to provide any of these resources. But yeah, that was kind of my talk there.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all that information. I just want to reiterate, if you guys want any of this content, please hit up Justin on LinkedIn.